All right, so today we're diving deep into the world of Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be taking a look at Ashley Vance's biography,
Okay.
Elon Musk,
Mm-hmm.
Tesla, SpaceX, and the quest for a fantastic future.
Mm-hmm.
And, we always like to go beyond just the surface level stuff, right? We
Yeah.
want to understand what makes these people tick.
Yeah.
Like not just their achievements,
Yeah.
but also their personalities, their
Yeah.
experiences.
And how they got there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Elon Musk.
Oh, he's fascinating.
I know, right?
He's kind of like this walking contradiction, you
Yeah.
know? Like this massive ambition, but also
Yeah,
very real tangible things that he's putting out in the world.
it's true.
Like, it's incredible.
Yeah, so let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
The book takes us back to his childhood in South Africa.
Right.
And it wasn't all, roses and sunshine, right?
No, not at all. Like, imagine.
Well, his grandparents
Yeah.
flew across continents in a single-engine plane.
Wow.
Talk about inspiring.
That's right. But then on the other side, there's this difficult relationship with his dad
Yeah.
and relentless bullying at school.
Oh, wow.
It's like, what a contrast, right?
It really is.
I mean, you have to wonder if those early experiences, they maybe planted the seeds for this incredible drive that he had.
I think so.
It's like he kind of,
Yeah.
it's like he turns adversity into fuel.
Yeah.
You see this pattern throughout his life. Like this
Right.
tough childhood fosters this resilience.
Yeah, I could see that.
And even as a kid, he was selling homemade explosives and video games.
Hold on, homemade explosives.
Yeah.
Like what?
That's
That's certainly a way to show some entrepreneurial spirit.
It definitely shows a little bit of a risk taker from the get-go.
I guess so.
There's this clear drive to create, to innovate, even at a young age.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, so then he heads off to university,
Right?
first in Pretoria and later at Penn, and the book paints this picture of like this laser-focused student,
Yeah.
driven to learn, driven to achieve,
Really?
driven. But wasn't there a point where he veered off the traditional path?
Yeah, he makes this bold decision
Okay.
to forego a doctorate at Stanford,
Whoa,
to dive headfirst into the world of internet startups.
Stanford. Most people would not walk away from Stanford.
Right.
But I guess that's what kind of sets him apart, right?
It really does.
Like he saw this different future and he wanted to build it himself.
Exactly. And these early ventures,
Yeah.
Zip2 and PayPal, they weren't just about getting rich.
Right.
They were about disrupting entire industries,
Yeah.
creating something new. And what's really fascinating here is how
What's that?
these early successes shaped his approach to business.
So?
Well, he learned the importance of maintaining control,
Okay.
staying true to his vision, even when faced with resistance.
I can see that.
Yeah, so it's like,
Yeah.
these early ventures were kind of like a training ground
Yeah.
for the even bigger challenges that he'd take on later.
Yeah, because I mean,
Right.
rockets,
I mean,
revolutionizing the car industry.
those are ambitious.
Pretty ambitious goal.
Right. And that brings us to, I think, arguably the heart of his story.
Okay.
His audacious ambitions with SpaceX.
Okay.
Everyone knows about Falcon 9 and the Dragon capsule, but the book reveals the driving question behind these achievements. How do we make humanity a multi-planetary species?
Wow.
Right.
That's huge.
It's a big question.
That is a big question.
And it led him to the Mars Society and ultimately to creating SpaceX.
Wow. But it wasn't all smooth sailing, was it?
Not at all.
No.
The book details SpaceX's early struggles,
Okay.
the failed launches,
Oof.
the major financial difficulties, moments where it seemed like
Oh, wow.
the whole venture could just crash and burn.
That's intense.
Yeah,
I'm guessing most people would have just given up,
most people.
but not Musk.
No.
So there's that resilience again.
Yeah.
What, kept him going?
He persevered with this almost superhuman
Really?
drive and resilience.
Wow.
And he inspired this fierce loyalty in his employees,
How did he do that?
convincing them to push beyond their limits, to truly buy into his vision.
But it wasn't just blind faith, right?
No.
Like, he had to have something more than just a dream.
You have to remember, Musk was obsessed with reusable rockets.
Okay.
Early Falcon launches really struggled with
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
but that's where the real innovation was. And
what?
it paid off hugely.
I see, I see.
So it was more than just a dream.
Yeah.
He had this very specific, challenging, technical goal
Right.
that he just wouldn't let go of.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, what was it about him
Yeah.
that convinced people to follow him on what, seemed like a pretty risky journey?
He offered them more than a job.
Oh, wow.
He offered them the chance to be part of something truly groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Something that could change the world.
Yeah.
That's the power of a compelling vision.
Okay.
It can attract incredibly talented people
Yeah.
and make them believe in the seemingly impossible.
I like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of pushing boundaries, that's where Tesla comes in.
Right.
He wasn't content with just making electric cars, was he?
Not at all.
No.
Musk wanted to create a whole new experience.
Really?
It wasn't enough for electric vehicles to be practical.
Yeah.
They had to be cool, they had to be desirable, they had to be better than their gas-guzzling counterparts.
I see.
And that's where the T0 sports car comes in.
Okay.
This is what ignited his electric dreams.
Oh, wow. I bet driving that car was like a revelation.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it challenged the whole perception of what an electric vehicle could be.
Totally.
But again, the book makes it clear.
Yeah.
The road to success wasn't paved with rainbows and sunshine.
No, absolutely not.
Like developing the Tesla Roadster came with a whole slew of challenges.
Oh, yeah. Design setbacks, financial struggles.
Yep.
And the simple fact that back then, electric cars were seen as a niche product.
Yeah, very niche.
He was going against the grain, trying to change people's minds about an entire industry.
Absolutely.
You see how crucial those early government loans were for Tesla?
Yeah, those were huge, right?
Oh, yeah. It wasn't just about the money. It was
Right.
about legitimacy.
Get it.
It signaled to the market, to investors,
Yeah.
that electric vehicles were the future.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a really interesting point
Hmm.
because it wasn't just Musk believing in this future,
Right.
right?
Right there.
He needed others to believe in it too.
Exactly.
And those loans were a huge step in that direction.
They paved the way for the mass adoption we're seeing today.
I see.
And speaking of paving the way, we can't forget about Solar City.
Oh, yeah, Solar City.
Sure, it was founded by Musk's cousins.
Right.
But the book makes it clear that he was the driving force behind its mission to make solar energy accessible to the masses.
So he saw this opening, this need to not just make solar panels, but to make them accessible.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he saw this like this opening, right? This need to not just make solar panels, but to like
Right.
make them accessible.
That's
right?
exactly.
Right.
And what's so fascinating here is their leasing model.
Oh, yeah.
It totally disrupted the traditional solar industry.
How so?
Well, by making it easier
Right.
and, more importantly, affordable for people
Right.
to get solar panels on their roofs.
So you didn't need that huge
You no longer needed
upfront
a
investment.
huge upfront investment, which
Right.
was a major barrier for most homeowners.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like he was removing obstacles.
Exactly.
Instead of just saying solar is the future,
Right.
he made it possible for people to actually be a part of that future.
Yeah, and it all ties back to this vision
Okay.
of a sustainable future powered by clean energy.
Yeah.
You can almost see these companies, SpaceX, Tesla, Solar City, not as separate entities. Okay.
But as pieces of this larger puzzle that Musk is trying to solve.
It's like this grand interconnected ecosystem that he's building.
It really is.
But let's face it,
Yeah.
building that kind of future doesn't come easy.
No.
The book doesn't shy away from,
Right.
Musk's demanding nature, his intensity,
Yeah.
and, the struggles that he's faced trying to balance work and life.
That relentless drive, while inspiring,
Yeah.
definitely seems to come at a cost.
Right.
The book talks about his difficulties maintaining personal relationships,
Oh, wow.
his divorce,
Yeah.
and the toll it all takes on his well-being.
It's a good reminder that even these visionary leaders,
Right.
these people who seem to defy all odds,
Yes.
are still human.
Yeah, they are.
They face the same pressures and challenges as the rest of us.
Absolutely.
Maybe even more so, given the weight of their ambitions.
Right. And it kind of raises the question, doesn't it?
What's that?
What's the price of innovation?
Oh, that's a good question. Can you really achieve these world-changing goals
Yeah.
without some level of personal sacrifice?
That's a tough question.
It is.
I don't think there's an easy answer.
I don't either.
But I have to say, there's something about Musk's story
Yeah.
that really resonates with me.
What's that?
It's that fearlessness to dream big.
Right.
And to pursue goals that most people would consider impossible.
He's definitely not afraid to challenge conventional thinking.
Yeah, it's almost as if he's daring us to think bigger, right?
Yeah, I think so.
To push past our perceived limitations and aim for things we might have thought were just out of reach.
Totally.
I think that's the allure of Musk,
Yeah.
right? It's this like embodiment of pushing boundaries.
Yes.
This idea that maybe, just maybe, we can achieve things
Yeah.
that used to seem like pure science fiction.
Right. And the book doesn't just focus on his successes.
Yeah.
It acknowledges his flaws, his complexities.
Oh, right.
You get this portrait of a brilliant, driven, but deeply flawed person.
Which I think makes it all the more compelling.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's a realistic picture.
It is.
You know, it's not this one-sided hero worship.
Right.
So for those of us who aren't billionaires building rockets, what can we take away from all of this?
I think it starts with the power of a vision.
Okay.
And having clear goals.
Right.
Musk sets these audacious goals that seem insane to most people.
Yeah.
And then relentlessly pursues them.
And he's not all talk.
No.
He actually gets things done.
He does.
The rockets, the electric cars,
Yeah.
investing in solar energy.
He puts his money where his mouth is.
Right.
He's not just talking about change. He's actually making it happen.
That's such a key lesson.
It is.
It's not enough to just dream big.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to put in the work, take risks,
Right.
face setbacks, and keep moving forward.
Yeah.
It's like he's challenging all of us to step up our game,
I think so.
to break free from our own limitations, and go after things we might have previously dismissed as impossible.
That's the legacy of Elon Musk, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's not just building companies or technology.
Right.
He's cultivating a new mindset.
Oh.
A mindset that embraces innovation
Yeah.
and dares to push the boundaries of what we believe is achievable.
It's inspiring, but it's also a little intimidating, right? Like, not all of us are wired to be like Elon Musk.
Right.
The book makes it clear that he can be pretty intense, even abrasive at times.
Right.
There are stories about his brutal work ethic and his expectation that everyone around him operate at his level.
Yeah, that's true. He's often described as demanding.
Yeah.
With incredibly high standards.
Right.
The book even recounts anecdotes about his difficult management style.
I don't remember those.
And the toll it's taken on some of the people who've worked with him.
It's like he's this force of nature, relentlessly pushing forward.
Yeah.
And sometimes, it seems, people get swept up in his wake, whether they're ready or not.
Right. And the book explores those comparisons to other iconic figures like Howard Hughes, Steve Jobs, Thomas Edison. There are definitely some parallels, particularly in their drive, their willingness to challenge the status quo, their vision for the future.
But there are key differences too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What struck me was this unique blend of naivete and brilliance in Musk.
That's a good point.
He's a visionary.
Yeah.
But he's also very pragmatic.
Yes.
Someone who's willing to roll up his sleeves and get into the nitty-gritty details.
That's an interesting observation.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's that combination of grand vision and a very practical, hands-on approach that truly sets him apart.
It's worth noting, too, that the book doesn't present this perfectly polished, one-sided view of Musk.
Right.
It includes perspectives from people who admire him.
Yeah.
Those who question his methods.
Right.
And even those who are downright skeptical of his ambitions.
It's the mark of a well-researched biography.
I think so.
It doesn't shy away from the controversies, the criticisms, the complexities of his impact and legacy.
Which brings us back to that big question.
Okay.
What's the final verdict on Elon Musk?
Right.
Is he a hero or a villain?
It's a tough one.
A genius or a reckless risk-taker?
I don't think there's a simple answer.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
The book doesn't necessarily give us the answer.
Okay.
But it gives us a lot to think about.
I see.
You know, is he a visionary pushing humanity forward? Or is there a darker side to his ambition?
Yeah.
Is he a force for good or a product of a system that rewards ambition above all else?
Right. It's less about reaching a definitive conclusion.
I agree.
And more about grappling with these complex questions.
Absolutely.
You know, gaining a deeper understanding of this enigmatic figure.
Yeah.
And his impact on the world.
Right. And ultimately, it's up to each of us to decide what we make of Elon Musk's story.